Hey garden friends, it's Miss Sandra here, and we have Science Kit number 21 this week. This is Adaptations week number 2, Create Your Own. This is going to be a 2-week project. So this week is the design phase of our creation, and next week you can create the model. Next week will be the creation phase. So let's go through our activities. This week you're going to need Science Kit number 21, your science notebook, a pencil with an eraser, crayons, colored pencils or markers, and any craft supplies. Those you'll really need next week, but you'll be making the list of the craft supplies to create your model. So this week, you get to be creative and use what we've learned about habitats, water, and adaptations to design and create a plant or animal model of your very own. Like I said, this is the design week. Next week will be the creation week. Sorry, I got the terminology a little bit confused in my heading. I can't wait to see what you design this week and what you create next week. So, your first step is going to be to go to your science notebook and update your KWL chart. So here's my KWL chart, and this is what you want to do. You want to write the date. You want to write the heading. So this week we're working with adaptations. And then you want to do the K, W, and L. And you're going to generate a list of what you know about adaptations, what you want to know about adaptations, and then if you've learned so far, if you have learned anything new about adaptations, you're going to write that in your L column. You can join me at the Garden Live on Wednesday at 11:30 if you want to work on that together. So then your next step is going to be to use this attached design plan to create your plant or animal. So here are some things to think about when you're designing. I'm going to put that down so it's not shaky, and I'm going to see if I can zoom in. Let's see. All right, I'm not great with the zoom on my camera. Sorry. Sorry, friends. Ooh, I found a special little slidey bar. Maybe that helps. I don't know. Okay, so remember that all plants and animals need food, water, shelter, and warmth. If you're going to design a plant, you want to include the main plant parts, the roots, the stem, the leaves, flowers, and or fruit. You can also include other plant parts too. For animals, make sure you include some kind of skin or fur. It doesn't have to be skin exactly. It could be scales, fur, or any variation that you, I'm thinking of the word crust, and that's not the right word. A shell. There we go. Sorry. It could be a shell. Number of legs, number of eyes, number of teeth. How does your plant or animal get food and water? Where does your plant or animal live? Does it live in the water, in the forest, or maybe somewhere else? What is the environment like? And remember, when we're talking about the environment, we're wondering, is it really hot all the time? Is it really cold? Does it rain a lot? Is it really dry? So is it like a desert, or is it like a rainforest? Or if it's really cold, maybe it's a tundra. I wonder if you've heard about that biome. It's spelled Tundra, and it's way up in the north, in the northern parts of Canada. And it's not quite completely snowy, but it's very, very cold. Let's see. Some other things to consider when you're designing your plant or animal. Does it have any predators? Remember, a predator is something that will want to eat it. What adaptations? Now, this is the really important part. So you've got like the basic design, and then because we're focused on adaptations, what adaptations does your plant or animal have to help it survive in its environment? So some ideas that we talked about last week are camouflage, really deep roots, thick bark, sharp teeth, gills, fins, or feathers. So you're going to draw your design. There's a spot right back here for your design, and you can draw it here. Sorry about that funny line there. The copier machine decided it was going to put a funny line on everybody's paper, but I think that you can make it work despite the line, right? We are flexible. So you're going to draw your design, and you're going to create a list of materials to create a 3-dimensional or 3D model of your plant or animal. Some ideas are glue, construction paper, feathers, buttons, beads, cardboard, anything you have around your house. You could use recycling materials. You're going to ask your adult to help you gather your supplies, but remember that part, the 3D model, we're going to actually do it next week. This week, I just want you to focus on designing your plant or animal. If you get really into it and you want to create your model this week, that's probably okay, but I really want to make sure that everybody's spending a lot of time thinking through their designs. So the first step is to decide if you're going to create a plant or an animal. You want to describe your creation. You're going to describe what is one adaptation your creation has that helps it survive. Why does it need this adaptation? So when you're thinking about your plant or animal, you need to think about what kind of an adaptation would help it to survive given the environment that it lives in. So a lot of things we learned about last week when we were discussing adaptation had to do with camouflage and ways to hide from predators, ways to move, ways to access water. Remember, we talked about the deep roots of the cactus and also the thorns of the cactus, which are specialized leaves to protect the cactus from animals that would eat it. So those are some adaptations you can consider when you're designing your own. So you have the design plan here. You're going to include a list of materials, but you might, I see that I put that at the beginning of the design worksheet, but that might be the last thing you complete, because you might, after you decide whether you're doing a plant or animal and what adaptation it needs, you might do the drawing first and then create your list of materials, because that'll help you really visualize what kinds of materials you need to make this 3D model. So take your time drawing your creation. You might start out using just a basic pencil with an eraser to get the outline of what you want to do first. And then after you're happy with whatever shape it has, then go in and add the color and details to help you make it really specific to whatever you're imagining. Okay, and then come back and create your list of materials. Again, it can be anything from glue and construction paper. You can use fabric, you can use buttons, you can use any kind of recyclables. I know Miss Jessica's class just made a robot out of some recyclable materials, and so kind of think in that same frame of mind. Maybe there are, different plastic bottles or something that you could use, or paint, whatever you have access to at home. Just also check in with your adults and make sure that you have access to those materials and it's okay to use. You don't want to try to use craft materials that were for a special project or something that your adult had planned for you, okay? So remember, this week is design. We are designing a plant or animal of our very own with some kind of special adaptation. After you get your design done, be sure and go to the Garden Flipgrid. That's flipgrid.com/seawolves right here. And you can share your design right there. If your teachers want you to share it in Seesaw, that's great too. And I look forward to hearing all about your creations. Thanks so much, garden friends. You have a great week.